Hello and welcome to ProSoft's second Cagematch webinar. Ever since we first stepped into the ring, our goal has been to provide industrial communication solutions that enable dissimilar automation control equipment to share information and transfer critical control data. From our first champion, Modbus solution for Allen Bradley, ProSoft has expanded to provide a range of innovative communication solutions that help optimize industrial productivity. Being competitive in the industrial automation ring now requires digital connectivity to industrial devices, which means the value of ProSoft's core solutions is more critical and valuable than ever. As you progress in this journey, no other partner has ProSoft's trusted experience and expertise for enabling the digital transformation journey and helping you win in your application. Today's Cagematch will have 3 mostly fair rounds and will provide insight on the advantages of our core communication solutions in chassis and gateway modules, and the key factors to consider when choosing the best fit. With that, welcome to ProSoft's Cagematch 2 in chassis versus gateways, starring Bobby Maxwell and Brett Gartner. Bobby will represent gateways, while Brett is in the in-chassis corner. Bobby Maxwell is the sales leader for ProSoft Americas. His expertise includes multiple ProSoft roles in tech support, product management, sales, and leadership. Today, Bobby will be employing his combined strengths and technical expertise and commercial experience. Brett Gartner is the Director of Global Sales. Brett has been in the global automation ring, including previous roles with Rockwell Automation, Schneider Electric, and ProSoft Sales. These 2 worthy combatants square off today to compete for the best ProSoft solution in chassis or gateway. They've promised a clean, fair fight, but we'll see what happens. So we're going to enter round 1. And the first question I'm wondering about is design considerations. What integration benefits do each of these bring? And Brett, you're first up.
Great. Thanks, Julie. Welcome. Cheers. So in the design phase, I'm looking to find everything possible that fits right into the PLC chassis. You know, today I can get all the technologies I need that are plug-in modules. It could be temperature, weighing, positioning, even flow computing. The last thing I want to do is introduce external components or a gateway that I have to add in outside my rack. When I do that, I got to expand my design activities, right? I need additional power requirements. There's more wiring. I got to do diagrams. Maybe I've got to have other ports in the switch. All of this likely requires a little more panel space and definitely more complexity. We know space equals costs. At the same time, I also have to deal with more vendors, more research, more people to coordinate. No thanks. Whenever possible, the in-chassis solution is the perfect package.
Yeah, that all makes total sense, like when you're considering a brand new panel and a brand new installation. But think about when you have PLCs that don't have a backplane slot available, or there isn't an in-chassis option available. There's no need to tie an in-chassis module to an application when a gateway is just as flexible, right? You can put the gateway out where the end device is at. You can save some upfront costs by using a gateway module instead of an in-chassis module. You know, think of a situation where you have an existing DCS or a SCADA system and you need to add a skid or a package out there somewhere, and you have a remote panel. You want to add a drive, you want to add an operator interface terminal, you want to add a pressure meter, whatever. Why put a in-chassis module in the main SCADA system room, run all the cables out to the drive so you're configuring something way over here that's connected to something over here? Gateways are just way more flexible when it comes to installation.
All right, fair points. You know, most of the time when I'm putting together a system, I know what Rockwell platform I'm going to be using, so I don't have to worry about some of those factors. The great thing with the ProSoft architecture is I can put a module in any part of the system that I've got installed. It can be in the main chassis or it can be distributed. It'll all work regardless of the architecture and the design. If I need another additional protocols, if I need more stuff, all I have to do is have another slot in the chassis or add an additional chassis into the system, right? One of my key objectives is to try to minimize design risk and risk in the system. Anytime I have to add another component into the system, think about a gateway, it involves inherently more risk. I don't want to have to be in a situation where I'm troubleshooting a wiring problem remotely because my electrician or a contractor or a technician made a mistake in installation. With ProSoft, all of the solutions I need are available. I've got a wide variety of models that I can plug in. To me, that's still just the best option available, is let's put everything in the chassis.
Yeah, but to your point, if you add an additional remote rack, you're adding additional complexity, right? So I think it kind of comes down to what you have available and then what you have that's still flexible.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, that was a good, clean first round. Good job, you guys. Okay, so for round two, before I get to round two really quick, I noticed there was some Q&A coming in, and so if you have a question, please pop that in the Q&A box or in the chat screen, and we will answer those at the end. Okay, so round two, I want to hear about support and configuration required for both in-chassis and gateway. So Bobby, go ahead and tell me about that.
Yeah, for sure. So think about a gateway, a standalone unit, like it's pretty much platform agnostic, right? Like whether it's Rockwell, Siemens, Schneider, ABB, Omron, Telemecanique, whatever, right? It doesn't matter. The gateway, as long as it supports those protocols, you don't have to have an available slot. It doesn't require additional licensing. You don't have to pay for software licenses. You don't have to pay for any of the I guess secondary requirements or licensing fees of using an in-chassis module. The configuration environment is usually standalone, so no matter when you use that gateway in an application, like the configuration for that gateway is the same whether it's connecting to a Rockwell, a Siemens, or a Schneider PLC. It doesn't matter. So the flexibility of being able to use that gateway in any application, I think, is better than an in-chassis.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, it makes total sense. The gateway can connect to any platform. When I'm putting together my system, I know that I'm working in the Rockwell world. I don't need to consider Telemeca what? Listen.
It's old, you wouldn't get it.
Plugin modules also have the benefits of all of the free tools available from ProSoft. It's just a quick download from their website. I think that's kind of an equal. What's cool for me is when I'm configuring this system, it's really intuitive that I can map diagnostics, errors, alarming into my HMI system, make it part of the whole controller application. Super simple, super intuitive. If I have a serial application, there's a great benefit in the ProSoft world is most of the serial applications can be configured directly in the tags. I don't even need the external software to get that set up and running. Last thing, when I'm doing an in-chassis protocol, all I have to worry about is configuring the external protocol. All the communications to the processor is done through the backplane. So it makes it a little bit easier for me and anybody who wants to troubleshoot it. One protocol, all is done through tags. If I ever need any help, I just jump on the website. Video tutorials are there, super simple, super easy and helpful for getting through any problems I have. Listen, as a Rockwell technology partner, right? ProSoft has been a founding member, has been around forever. In fact, I think we were one of the founding members of the Encompass program, now the Rockwell Technology Partner Program. Most of our products are integrating using add-on instructions and add-on profiles. it's really like adding another Rockwell product into my system. It's not even like I'm working on a third-party device. It makes it super simple. It's all easy. With all these tools that are available, to me, it's still the best solution. And of course, my distributor specialists are the local experts. They're here to help whenever I need it. And I get my stuff the next day most of the time it's available.
All right, I'll give you that a bit. But like when it's all said and done, if we're talking about ProSoft, like our gateways are the same, right? They integrate with a Rockwell PLC. Most other gateway platforms don't, but I mean, we have add-on instructions, we have add-on profiles, we have the ability to connect in there, unlike some other third-party gateways that aren't in the Encompass program. So yeah, I'll give you that for in-chassis versus gateways, but ProSoft gateways are pretty solid.
Okay, let's get ready for the final round. And I think it's something that a lot of people are curious about. It's about cost factor. So Brett, tell me about the cost factor.
Absolutely. I mean, let's get to the point, right? I mean, we're going to always talk about cost and total cost of ownership. I think it's the knockout punch. When you consider all the factors when you're putting together a system, additional risk, additional space, dealing with other vendors, I think hands down, the in-chassis ProSoft solution will give me greater value than when I have to work with something outside of the chassis and an additional component. A little more cost up front really becomes insignificant compared to having to put together the rest of that system with external components and gateways. I'm always for achieving greater value, less space, faster deployment, minimizing the risk. For me, it's pretty simple. The in-chassis solution is the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not hard to argue with that, but like when you think about a system that's being designed from the beginning, right? You optimize your panel space, you optimize your rack space, you optimize every component that goes into it. But what about things that happen 6 years later, 6 months later, or forgot about in the beginning when someone says, you know, on their drawings that they have Modbus and then it's Modbus TCP and it's the Ethernet versus serial thing, right? You know, the flexibility again of the gateways of being able to put in after the fact, provided there's a power supply and an extra switch port, right? So those are available. A gateway works, right? Troubleshooting is done in a very similar way. You can map tags to, or you can map data points in the gateway to tags in the PLC. Granted, you have to map two protocols, right? You have the Ethernet IP and 62850 or Modbus TCP or whatever. But the upfront costs from a gateway are a lot lower. So it's kind of a trade-off, right? Do you want to spend a little less upfront and maybe maintain things a little bit longer, or do you want to spend a little bit more upfront and then still have, you know, kind of some of the advanced diagnostics and things like that that come with an in-chassis? So all I'm saying is when considering dissimilar networks, gateways are a super viable option, and you're wrong.
Super viable. I'll give you that. I've done the analysis. There's no way with the risk factor, if it takes me an extra hour, only an hour in troubleshooting and figuring out a problem because something was done wrong in wiring or whatever in an installation, I've already lost all the benefit that I had in the cost saving up front. When it's in chassis, I can do it all in one place. I know that I'm confident in the way the design is done. I don't have all those external factors. Time is money. I'm not willing to risk the credibility, my credibility, by looking at external solutions. But I couldn't agree more. As long as we stay in the ProSoft world, I know I got their support team, I've got the ProSoft expertise and experience behind my back. It's going to work. Either way is going to be successful. I just think bang for the buck, the in-chassis solution is the best way to go.
Well, I remember the first time I was wrong too. Let's see if Julie has what she has to say.
Won't be.
All right, you guys. Listen, that was a clean, fair fight. Really appreciated it. Good match.
Thanks.
Strong showing from both of you. I think both types of solutions obviously have their upsides. First round, I'm going to give it to Bobby with flexibility. He just had some great points. I'm sorry. Although second round in chassis won out for me. That integration, I think that was a great point, Brett. And also the cost factor goes to in chassis as well. So I'm going to have to say in chassis wins. Bobby's leaving. Come back. You have questions to answer, Bobby.
Fine.
So
Ridiculous.
we've got some questions. Congratulations, Brett. Good strong showing. We have some questions
Never
in the
a
chat. Let's see. Okay, so John has some questions. He says, does the in-chassis store configuration in the Logix processor? If I have to replace the module, will it load the configuration and come up running?
So there are various answers to that question. Some are stored on an SD card in the hardware. Some are stored in Logix. I'd say a big chunk of them are stored in Logix, but the rest of them are stored. It can be stored on an SD card in the PLC. In the hardware. So you pull the SD card out, stick it in a new one, and it'll boot back up. Or it can be stored in the PLC memory.
It's application dependent, right? It depends on what protocol and what interface, what solution we're talking about.
Okay, great. Let me grab another question here. Let's see.
Also, the same with gateways. There's an SD card that can be stored.
True. Easy disaster recovery
Yep.
in either solution.
Okay. Lewis says about performance in chassis, is that better than gateway? How much better? How much better is it better?
It's more better.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so much more gooder.
Okay.
No, it depends on the application as well, right? So if you think about an in-chassis module versus a gateway, you're thinking about Ethernet speeds. So if the other protocols like Modbus Serial, for example, I mean, the fastest speed you can get is 115K? It's been a while. But that's significantly lower than Ethernet. So it kind of depends on the application, on what the performance requirements are.
Yeah. So many factors get involved in that, right? How many devices are we connecting? What's,
112K, right?
160, I don't know.
It's been a while.
But speed-wise, I think you're going to see comparable performance between the two. The gateway information is coming ultimately back to the controller via Ethernet. Of course, through the in-chassis solution, it's all connected via backplane. Again, it's going to depend a bit, but I think at the end of the day, it's going to be a comparable speed performance system between either. It's going to depend on what is the best fit in the application.
Nice. Okay. Let's see. Here's one. Are the same protocols available for ProSoft in-chassis and gateways?
Yeah, I mean, I think across the board, most of the protocols available on gateways are available on in-chassis, or maybe vice versa. All of the in-chassis protocols are available on gateways, and then there might be some tertiary protocols that are available on gateways. But for the most part, anything from 62850 to DMP to Modbus, ASCII, and chassis and gateways, there are both.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's if you think about what we call our core, you're going to get the same options in gateways as in chassis. There's some cool things that we're doing in the gateway products that help customers with specific applications like modernization. We've got some partner relationships that help expand our application capabilities with gateways in DeviceNet, in ControlNet, some other specialized applications. Yeah. And likewise, in the controller, in the in-chassis applications, we've got flow computing modules. We've got 61850. We've got other application-specific solutions that are available only through the in-chassis. So it's a bit of a mix, but you're likely going to get more combinations. Check out our website. There's a great product selector out there. There's a very easy tool. Pick your applications, pick your protocols, match them together, and it'll give you the options for what products will handle that application.
So in summary, just give us a call.
Okay. I have another one here. Any in-chassis planned for 5069? I haven't heard about that one.
Yeah, so yes. We work with Rockwell exclusively, as a technology partner. For Control Logics, Compact Logics, 5069. We have MyPoint standalone gateways for MicroLogix 1400s, 1500s, 5069s where things aren't available yet. But yeah, definitely we would like to have a 5069 solution.
Yeah, the gateway is the way to go for 5069 today, or any other platforms who don't have plug-in modules available. We're actively pursuing solutions to get into the new hardware technologies. Love your help working with Rockwell and your distributors to make sure that we're prioritized to get that done.
Okay, we have a few more questions coming in. How you guys doing? We good?
Hey, we're fine.
Okay. So another one. Right now, the only way to manage protocols in Compact Logix 5380 is with gateways, and that's a question mark. And then it says, in the future, would there be an in-chassis solution with the Compact Logix 5380?
Same as previous answer, right?
Okay.
Today, it's got to be a gateway. We do not have 5380 in-chassis products available. We definitely want to go there. We're definitely planning to go there. We'll continue that journey with Rockwell as they continue.
Okay, here's kind of a round 4 question.
Oh,
In-chassis versus gateway. Ready?
No.
Extended temperature requirement. Which solution can be used for extended temperature requirement?
Both.
In-chassis or gateway?
So the answer is both. By default, our gateways, I believe, are negative 20 to 70 degrees Celsius for extreme temperature applications. We have XT modules that fit in a Rockwell XT chassis that also do, I believe, negative 20 to 70. Negative 70 is way too low. So if you have an XT chassis, we have Modbus TCP, I think ASCII modules that all fit in a Rockwell XT chassis, and then the standalone gateways support the same temperature requirements.
Nice. All right, Jason has a question. Are there wireless options for in-chassis or wireless adapter for I/O solutions, or maybe plans to go in that direction?
Years ago, we did have a card that provided wireless connectivity that would plug into the chassis, right? Mm-hmm. That created more problems than really resolved, the application issues that we were trying to get to. The best solution today is to connect to a radio externally, but we can absolutely create a solution in a system that can combine a radio solution with your PLC or a gateway or whatever we're trying to connect to, and enable that device to link wirelessly back to whatever you need to link to. For sure, wireless is another one of our core competencies. Absolutely talk to us, talk to our salespeople. If you've got applications, we have solutions to solve that.
Yeah, think about, similar to the in-chassis and gateway discussion that we just had. I'm not going to concede that I lost yet, still, ever.
You did.
No, it's maybe. But think about it, right? Like the in-chassis modules are purpose-built to fit into a Rockwell chassis. The wireless products are purpose-built to be industrial-grade wireless products, right?
Plug a radio into a panel, close the door. It's in an aluminum box or a metal enclosure. The wireless signal's not getting out of there that well. We've got options.
Okay.
I didn't lose.
Very cool. We're kind of wrapping it up here.
Great questions. Appreciate the interaction.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Hey, we got another question, you guys. I want to come back. Mac asked, why are there no DH Plus gateways available?
Yeah. So we have a Remote I/O and Data Highway Plus gateways that connect to Ethernet IP. They're kind of designed for connecting those long 10,000 foot runs of Data Highway Plus networks. So whether it's an HMI or a drive or PLC to PLC communications, we can definitely connect Blue Hose, is what it's typically referred to, whether it's Remote I/O or Data Highway Plus, to a ControlLogix, CompactLogix, or SCADA system.
Beautiful. You guys, that was such a good Cagematch. I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot. I learned about cost factors. I learned that in-chassis, in this case, won.
It's great to be live for the first time in 18 months, probably.
Yeah.
We did temperature checks. It's fine.
Nice job.
Good
We
job.
did.